Hiya. So it's me again, and today we are back with a new series on the channel that will play out similarly to the MapleStory content that I actually do here. But it's going to be on a different game. Now, just like MapleStory, it will continue to be a gacha game, and quite frankly, I do consider MapleStory to be a gacha game with how you upgrade your gear and with how you get loot from bosses. But for anybody who knows, I am a big fan of Genshin Impact. I've been playing it for quite a while. Just logging in and pulling for new characters and just messing around on the game and exploring has been really fun for me. So I was going to make content on Genshin Impact, or I still plan to make content on Genshin Impact, but I want to do more one-off things when it comes to Genshin, like if I ever seem to level a new character and what sort of teams that they can potentially fit in, but this is going to be different from that. The game in question that I'm actually talking about is Wuthering Waves. I did initially play Wuthering Waves when the game first came out, but stopped playing due to its limited content when the game first came out, and the variety of performance issues that also plagued the game when it first came out, which made the game very, very unenjoyable for me, especially considering that it is a very combat-focused game, and when your FPS tanks, or when the game freezes, or when the game is generally unresponsive, it's very hard to enjoy or get immersed in the combat. But I've been seeing a lot of the updates for Wuthering Waves as of recently, and wanted to give it another shot. In a way where, similarly to my MapleStory account, I take it from the ground up and I try to progress and clear all of the content that there is in the game. Now, because it is a gacha game, I can technically just swipe my way through and completely nuke everything, but I want to do an approach that I think is relatively unexplored when it comes to content in general. Because when a lot of people play gacha games, they either swipe to completely max out their characters, or they go F2P and struggle the whole way through. But what I want to do in particular is just see what it's like to play the game normally, where I just buy all of the monthly subscriptions, so the things that give you daily premium currency and the battle pass, and see what I can reasonably accomplish in the game. See if I can actually max out a character and get all of their wave bands, how many characters I can really collect, and what sort of signature weapons I can collect with them. Now, of course, a series like this can be entirely different depending on somebody's luck. That's just the nature of these sorts of games. But yeah, I have been spending the past 2 weeks just getting my account started and going through all the trials and tribulations that come with doing 0 damage out the jump. So yeah, hopefully you guys are here for the ride, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this as much as I do. If you guys like the video, please remember to like, comment, and sub, or I will literally break your monitor. I swear. So with every new journey, there is a beginning. And in the beginning, we slowly waltzed our way with Chixia and Yang, the first two that we meet, through the opening, or the prologue of the story. Now, of course, because I have previously played Wuthering Waves, I have done the story all the way up to Mount Firmament, so I have been skipping parts that are not of interest to me, or parts that I remember very, very clearly, and for the parts that I don't remember, I did take some time to try to remember what was going on by reading the dialogue, but for the most part, we spent at least the first day just skipping through dialogue until some of the main systems of the game actually opened up. The first being wave plates. For anybody who doesn't know what wave plates are, it is basically a rechargeable currency that you can use to spend on specific activities during the day that net you resources. Resources that you can use to level up your characters. And spending your wave plates also gives you union level XP to level up your union level. Union level in Wuthering Waves is generally how you define the level of your account. The higher level of your account, the higher level mobs will spawn, which will generate you more resources over time. And in that first day, I also managed to scrape up enough fates to do the thing that everybody loves to do, gambling, of course. So we went to the convene menu and also managed to do our first 10 pull, in which we were then greeted by Sanhua. Now, I didn't end up getting a 5-star, but Sanhua is one of the best, if not the best, 4-star in the game, so I am not complaining about that. And later in this video, you'll see how much effort that I actually am putting into Sanhua, because she's going to be a part of one of my main teams as I start up. So then for the next few days, we kind of went on cruise control and just spent our wave plates to get our union level up. Now, I'm actually surprised as to how friendly Wuthering Waves is towards new players. The new player experience in comparison to other gacha games that I've seen is actually quite remarkable. The fact that they give you a 5-star selector through the new expedition event, which is really awesome. Now, granted, you do have to put some effort to get the specific resonator that you're looking for, but with the inclusion of the new or beginner banner, where your first 50 pulls are cheaper than usual, is also very nice. Now, granted, by the end of that banner, we did kind of get shafted and got the worst character out of the standard 5-star selection, which is Jianshin. Now, as much as I do love the character, I have no plans for using Jianshin, so she's kind of just gonna stay level 1 on my account. So there's that. There is also a limited time Shorekeeper banner. And for anybody who knows nothing about Wuthering Waves, Shorekeeper is the end-all be-all support in the game right now. And the fact that they give you a chance to pull on her when you're first starting out is such an awesome thing to do, because she can kind of be the backbone of any sort of team. So it's definitely a high value pull getting started out. So for new players who just want to make a team for one specific character, then, you know, having the best support to be behind them is going to be a huge benefit. Over the next few weeks, I have been doing pulls for these specific banners, but I'll cover the results in just a little bit. So after raising my union level a little bit and getting my feet off the ground, I decided to put some effort into 4 characters specifically off the jump. The first being the main character, or Rover, because Rover is a character that can flexibly be applied in any team, whether you want them to be the main DPS or a support or a sub DPS. So Rover is going to be a valuable addition in any team, given that I just put a little bit of effort into them. I also put some time to level up Mortifi, as Mortifi is kind of a simple sub DPS where you just use his ult and he'll do coordinated attacks with your character on field. I also put effort into Sanhua, of course, because Sanhua is a support that amplifies the damage of your on-field character by a lot. And for the time being, I've also been leveling up Chixia, because with the characters that I have on my account right now, there is no real dedicated on-fielder that I have. So I have taken the time to level up Chixia just a little bit, but eventually she will be replaced by the character that I'm going to be getting from the new player, the new Voyage Expedition, where I can select a specific 5-star. And now that my characters were a little bit more formidable, and every encounter that I come across doesn't take 10 hours, is when I actually decided to approach the main storyline. We did progress in the main storyline quite a bit. We ran into a psychopath who loves laughing a lot. We ran into our number one stalker, which is really awesome. We also ran into a weirdo and a Chinese man. And we fought with that Chinese man to take down the Crownless. And that's currently where I stand in the story, at least for right now. I have started the Mount Firmament questline. It just started and met Chang Li, which is definitely a little weird because the last time I played that's the last point in time or the last point in the story that I actually finished. Now, granted, this story was released back in 1.1, so it's definitely very weird being able to finish the story and just move on to the next. And we used that to our advantage, but once again, I'll explain why in just a second. And the reason why I was so adamant on progressing the story was to A, level up my union level as fast as possible so that I could farm more resources, B, to level up my databank as fast as possible, and C, to get as many pulls as possible for the first 5-star on the Shorekeeper banner. Now, as for the result on the Shorekeeper banner, I actually did manage to hit my first 5-star, and we got the best of the worst case scenario. We had to go all the way to Pity, and we lost the 50-50, but we managed to get Verena, and Verena is another one of those universal supports that can be used in a lot of teams, and she is still one of the strongest characters in the game. So I'm not upset. The reason why pulling a Verena on this banner is good is because now when I go to the 5-star selector that is in the other event, I can select a DPS instead, so now I can create an entire team. And the Shorekeeper banner is still there, so as long as I'm vigilant and I continue farming up as many resources as possible to get more pulls, I will eventually be able to guarantee Shorekeeper, which is nice. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to guarantee the weapon. I don't think there's enough time for that, because I think there's less than 15 days left on the banner, and I still need at least probably another 50 pulls before I even get just Shorekeeper. But we'll keep our hopes pretty high. We'll see how much we can farm, and we'll do our best. But the most important thing, or the most important reason for why I wanted to advance the story, was for the databank level. Databank is a system, or a core mechanic of the game, which allows you to absorb the enemies that you defeat in the world. And depending on your databank level is the quality of the mob that you will absorb. Now, you can think of these echoes as equipment that gives you bonus stats. Now, when you first start the game, of course, the quality of these bonus stats are going to be relatively low, as the echo quality is relatively low. It starts out at 2 stars, but when you get to databank level 15, you have the chance of obtaining 5-star echoes, which is the highest quality echo in the game as of right now. Now, if you get to databank level 17, which I just managed to get today, then your chance of obtaining a 5-star echo when an echo drops is 50%. And the other 50% means that I will get a 4-star echo instead. Now, databank level is not determined by your union level at all, so you can actually start farming out 5-star echoes very early if you actually get all of the echoes to improve your databank level as fast as possible. And when you advance the story, you'll be able to unlock new mobs to level up your databank level faster, which is part of the reason why I wanted to get to Mount Firmament so early. And within the first 2 weeks, I already have databank level 17, which I can use to get 5-star echoes. And with that 5-star chance, or with the chance of obtaining 5-star echoes, we managed to get a crownless echo, and we rolled it all the way to max level. And the substats on the specific echo were absolutely incredible. So for anybody who doesn't know how the rolling of an echo works, every 5 levels you can unlock a new substat on your echo. And every echo comes with a main stat depending on what it is. The Crownless specifically is a boss, so it has the potential to roll crit rate and crit damage are some of the notable stats. There is also healing bonus, which is a notable stat. But for this purpose, or for this case scenario, we'll just be thinking about crit rate and crit damage. And we managed to hit a Crownless with crit rate and rolled all those substats, and in those substats we got crit rate and crit damage as well. And it's on a set in which Havoc users will actually benefit from. And being able to finish the story has also gotten me the second version of the main character, which is the Havoc Rover. The Havoc Rover is a main damage dealer, which I will be leveling up as soon as possible, and considering that I got that Echo that has a lot of beneficial substats for that specific character, means that over the next few weeks I'm going to be spending a lot of time building up my Havoc Rover. In terms of content that I've been able to complete on the account, I've managed to finish the stable zone of the Tower of Adversity, which is the quote-unquote endgame content, or one of the endgame modes, in Wuthering Waves. I haven't started Whimpering Wastes as of yet, and I haven't done any sort of tactical holograms. Now, of course, I could try the initial difficulties of the tactical holograms. I think I might be able to do at least the first two, given that my characters are at least somewhat built. But I'm waiting to get a lot stronger before I do any sort of difficulty on the tactical holograms, because the rewards are realistically only worth when you become a lot higher level. But without further ado, I think that's enough yapping, and I kind of want to show you guys what's exactly on my account and what I plan to do going forward. Alrighty, so here we are. I feel like the first thing that I should cover is the fact that I'm Union level 35 with SOL Phase 3, and today I just grabbed all of the free pulls from hitting Union level 35. Now, as much as I wanted to use them on the choice banner over here, the fact that I already have Verena and am going to be getting Encore soon, and the fact that I have Jianshin kind of makes me want to avoid Kalkaro and Lingyang, as they're very underwhelming DPSs. So I kind of have not been using my pulls on this banner and actually use them on the weapon banner instead, or the default weapon banner. And the reason why I did this is because if I could actually hit the Emerald of Genesis, then when I hit Union level 45 and I get the free 5-star weapon from the box over here, I can actually get Abyss. No, I think it's Static Mist. I think it's Static Mist is the 5-star gun, which I do want to throw on Mortefi because it does give him a lot of energy regen and a lot of crit rate, which means that I don't have to be super picky in terms of how I build him. It could also just be used for other gun DPSs if I do want to continue building Chixia or let's say even Alto. But yeah, in terms of characters,
make this quick. I have experiments underway.
We have gotten a lot of 4-stars. We do have Alto.
You won't regret choosing Alto's service.
We have Donjin. We have Yanwu. We have Jianshin. And Baizhi. Yang. Baizhi's almost C6. I've been getting a lot of Baizhis from my 10 pulls, which is really fun. I'm not complaining though. I still think she's solid. If I ever do get a Glacio DPS, she can be a reasonable support for them. She gives Glacio damage at C6 and attack through the healing set effect, which I haven't pieced a proper one for her yet, but it's all good. Yang, as of right now, I have no plans to level, so she's also still just sitting at a relatively low level, level 20. Chishia, I have leveled up a decent bit. Pistols and everything, I do have some echoes as well. The reason why I'm leveling up Chishia is because I didn't have an on-fielder, but soon enough, Chishia is going to get replaced by Encore through the new Voyage event. I am at 20 out of 24 missions complete, so soon enough I will have Encore, and that will replace Chishia. Now, I could use both, but I think having 2 fusion DPSs will definitely be redundant, and I don't want to do that.
Let me be there for. Make this quick.
But yeah, Chishia is leveled a decent bit. Sanhua is actually C3. We actually have gotten a good amount of constellations for Sanhua, which is awesome. I definitely want to get her to C6 eventually for the attack bonus. She is level 50. She's one of the few characters, if not the only character, that I've actually ascended twice. She was holding the Sword of Night, but I do have her on Overture for now. Eventually, when I do get another weapon, like either a 4 or 5-star sword, she'll probably be holding that. In terms of echoes, I've actually been paying attention to her as well. Just trying to get the main stat at least. This one just managed to roll absolutely beautifully. We do have a double crit over here too. A few stats here, and this is kind of just chilling. So realistically speaking, her stats are not awful. And yeah, she's doing quite a lot of damage for where I am right now. Combats for my specific SOL phase definitely feels okay. Now, when you level up artifacts and you transfer them, or sorry, not artifacts, echoes. When you level up echoes and you transfer them to different echoes, like when I get the higher quality 5-star ones, I do lose a little bit of XP, but I still think it's worth to actually put some effort into these echoes because it speeds up a lot of the combats that I get into, which can allow me to A, explore a lot faster, and B, it's still XP that I can throw into the higher quality echoes, which means that not all of my XP is going to waste. I think it's only 30% of the XP that's actually lost. It's mostly just the tuners that get wasted, but once again, I'm using 4-star tuners because these are 4-star echoes. So yeah, that's why I've actually been leveling quite a lot of echoes. Then we have Mortefi, who's kind of got a similar setup to Sanhua, but he's just a little worse in every regard. He doesn't have as much substats as Sanhua, but I did get a full set of Moonlit Clouds so that it can be at least somewhat of a support for the characters that are on field. And the big one that I actually want to talk about is Rover. So I actually have Rover on Havoc mode right now, and I probably will keep her on Havoc mode for a while, because I don't think I'll ever have a need for Arrow Rover when I get to it. And Spectral Rover, now I do have more constellations for Spectral Rover, but the fact that I hit this Crownless completely by coincidence makes me want to continue leveling up Havoc Rover. And that's this over here. Now, this is flat attack and not percent attack, so it is a little sad, but it is a crit rate Dreamless, sorry, not Crownless, Dreamless, where I do have attack, I do have basic attack damage bonus, which isn't the best, but is still pretty good, and it's got a high crit damage and high crit rate roll. I did kind of just YOLO the last roll after seeing the crit damage, because I thought it was good enough. And it just managed to hit crit rate as well, so this piece alone is single-handedly enough to make me want to continue investing into Havoc Rover. Now, Havoc Rover is still a very solid DPS, but yeah, if I do get my hands on more 5-star swords or 4-star swords, it'll definitely be thrown onto Rover. I think one of the big decisions that I'm going to have to make is actually deciding what free 4-star weapon I'm gonna get from the battle pass, because quite frankly I actually don't know which one is actually the best. Now, some of them do give crit rate, but it's mostly the effects that I'm concerned about because some of these effects seem kind of underwhelming. So, probably do my research into that because I'm not the most knowledgeable about what weapon is actually best. But yeah,
Make this quick.
Havoc Rover is definitely going to be the character that we fund a lot. And it's nice that we get free Ascension materials as well, so I don't have to spend resin or wave plates to actually level up my rover. It's more about just going through the story and making sure that I'm exploring, and eventually my rover will be level 90. So, yeah. That's another reason why leveling rover is also really good, is because you can save a lot of resin leveling up rover. Yeah, definitely going to pay more attention to rover. Now, another reason why my databank actually leveled so fast is because when I first started this account, there was actually a double echo drop rate event when you cleared tacit fields. And because of these tacit fields, we actually managed to amass a huge amount of echoes, which allowed me to just merge a whole bunch of them to try to hit the highest cost echoes that I can. If you guys want to see what my databank actually looks like, here are all the echoes that I have. We do still have some 3 stars, which I probably will eventually fix. This is a lot of free XP to work towards 19, which will give me an 80% chance of hitting a 5-star echo instead of a 50-50. But yeah, we just had a bunch of chances to merge echoes, and that's why a lot of my characters have echoes right now in general. I wouldn't have farmed tacit fields. I wouldn't have farmed tacit fields if it wasn't for the double drop, but the double drop means that I'm also getting double the Union XP for the same amount of wave plates, which is really good when I'm trying to level up my account as fast as possible. So that, in comparison, or in combination with getting extra echoes to make my character stronger, at least for now, has been a very worthwhile investment to the point where I actually feel decently strong. And as I farm more and explore more, I'm sure that feeling will continue. I'm sure I'll feel more than strong enough to keep up with my SOL phase. And yeah, that'll be it. Definitely quite a jam-packed start to the first few weeks of this progression series. Now, of course, there is a lot of things that I had to do, and I'm doing this to make sure that I start on the right foot when I actually do get the characters, and I do start making my way up to higher and higher SOL phases where the mobs will start to get a lot more difficult and have a lot more HP. So, I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I know that this is a new game and there's a lot of new phrases and terms that I'm throwing out, so if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Now, granted, I'm not the best at this game. I do still know a lot about how I should be team building and how I should be configuring my characters, but in terms of gameplay, that's another thing that I'll be progressing with as well. I'll slowly be getting better and being able to dodge enemies better and counterattack enemies better, because that is a big aspect of Wuthering Waves, is the bossing aspect, which is one thing that I actually like quite a bit. Very similarly to MapleStory, how bosses can be quite challenging, the same exists here. Of course, there is an aspect of gacha where you do have to level up your characters to a specific point and progress to a specific point where you can even think about challenging these bosses, but the bosses are challenging and super fun, and you get punished really hard if you get hit. But a lot of the runs that I will be doing through this progression series, I will be posting as well. Any sort of endgame content completion will be posted here. But yeah. I hope that you guys are looking forward to this series, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I have. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, and sub, or you will literally lose your next 50-50. Much love, and peace out.